Well, I decided to organise the pre-breakfast because I had seen the National Pre-Breakfast advertised in Edinburgh, and they were looking for that sort of initiative to branch out into local communities. And we're in quite a privileged position in this community that we have so many partners, so many agencies work with the school, and I thought it was a great project to try to just bring everyone in together to think about the transformational power of your faith and how you can take that into your daily lives.
Good morning, everybody. It's really great to see you here, and in case I don't get a chance to say it later, well done to all the young people for being up this early and for having put so much work into this event. Our grace before meals. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we're about to receive from your goodness, through Christ our Lord. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We had a full breakfast, like a fry-up, an English breakfast, and we also had continental breakfast and teas and orange juice and stuff and fruit.
I set up the tables, I was cooking, like just behind the scenes.
I have been totally inspired by today. I'm so proud of the community of St Margaret Mary's, the young people, the staff, everybody gave a commitment long term, but this morning if you'd been in Bergadale Road at 5:45, you would have seen the length of the commitment. I am so inspired by the way the young people prepared, they presented themselves, and the way that they participated. They put their faith into action, and they put God's love into action.
So after the breakfast, everybody came up to the oratory. We had a guest speaker called Anthony, and he shared his testament.
Because the prison system had exhausted every avenue with me, and literally, like this guy, I was chained. Everywhere I went, every other prisoner was either mainstream or would go with the other flow with prisoners. I was always chained, one hand to one prison officer, one hand to another prison officer, and the corridors would be radioed before me to clear the way before I went. So, because such was the nature of my own existence in the prison, it was so volatile, it was so dark that I was often responding terribly violently towards both prisoners and prison officers. And again, I really don't want to sugarcoat anything for you. I want to present the darkness in order to show you the greatness of God's light this morning.
Anthony Gielty's talk was a testimony of his faith and how God, as he said, went into the darkest of places, and he actually opened up by saying to everybody in the oratory, you'll have your own challenges and you'll feel sometimes you're on your own and you're not listened to. Listen to me, and I'm going to tell you a story.
In solitary, you can kind of speak out through the bottom of the doors to somebody next to you, and this guy he'd heard all my violence and commotion. In fact, he'd even heard about me from being in the Young Offenders Institution and the adults. My reputation had gone around the prison system. And this guy shouted to me underneath the doors, the only person that can help you, wee man, is the priest. Now I should say, this guy was described by Lord Judge Bracadale as one of Scotland's worst killers. He was a tremendously feared guy in the underworld of Glasgow. So when he was telling me I need to go and see the priest, and he'd go and see the priest basically, that's what I'm thinking, right? So, I can never forget when Father John McFadden walked into HM Prison Edinburgh in 2005. I always cried this bit, sorry. You know, from a young age I really believed I was an animal. I was told I was an animal. But now I was acting like an animal, and my environment represented nothing other than what you would keep an animal in. But when he walked into the solitary wing, in 2005, I can remember, he didn't look at me like I was an animal. He looked at me through the love of Christ. And even before this man spoke to me, I knew he looked at me differently to the way everybody else did. They all had that same look in their face, you know. This is just another guy who's going to repeat the same story. He's going to continually stay in this, you know, that kind of look that you get accustomed to. And like I said, I'd become accustomed to since I was young. But something about this guy was different. He wasn't looking at me the same way that either I looked at myself or other people looked at me. And coming back to that gospel that I shared with you, seeing Jesus from afar, I really believe I saw the love of Christ from afar, just through this priest.
The plan for the whole day really came from looking through his book and knowing what his witness was about, and I thought it was particularly relevant to the sort of community that our school is in, that we could all resonate with some of the things he was talking about, and just a really, really powerful witness, which was then followed up with the concluding remarks from the Archbishop.
It was a splendid event, and I'm very grateful to all the organisers and to St Margaret Mary's Secondary for hosting it, because it certainly raised the profile of the school as a Catholic school and a Catholic community.